in Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 11, we find what we refer to as the pulpit ministries. These particular gifts, as a matter of fact, I'll read it and you'll see what these gifts are. Now, there's, like I said, there's 3 different places that we find gifts in our Bible, and the gifts are for different things. And so that's what we want to look at. That's what I kind of want to set the ground here for. These particular gifts, the ministry gifts, the pulpit ministry gifts. Verse 11, and He gave Himself some to be apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers. Okay, so there are 5 of these gifts. The apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, pastor, and teacher. And these gifts are easy to remember if you just use your hand. I'll use this hand. You'll see why in just a minute. The apostle's gift would be your thumb. The apostle is your thumb. And notice it's thick. They're tough. They're not easily offended. An apostle is a sent one. They are somebody that is sent to a particular area. Now, there are some people today that say, well, we don't have apostles today. There's no need for apostles today. We would use another term today to describe it. We would describe this as missionaries. Apostles typically are not people that are called to a place. They are sent to a place. We would be the apostle of this church. Now, not operating in this gift all the time yet. Still could, but not as of right now. But for this church is concerned, we didn't come here because a group of people got together and said we wanted to start a church. Now let's go find a pastor and call it. That's not what happened. The Lord spoke to us on November the 11th, 1986, and on February the 23rd, 1993 at 5:55 p.m. and told us that we'd be coming to Chattanooga, Tennessee and starting a church. So we came here to Chattanooga, Tennessee. We didn't know anybody. We came here and started a church. Actually, 32 years ago, this past Friday date, February 13th. So that's an apostle. That's the way that apostle operates. So they're thick. And I want you to notice something about the apostle is they can touch all of the other gifts. Then we have an evangelist. Now, evangelist is the one that points the way to Jesus. They're going to have a message. They're going to have a message that has to do with salvation, and primarily an evangelist will have one message. Doesn't have to. They can have multiple. But primarily he has one particular area, one particular field, one particular subject that he teaches on, and he is very good at, or she is very good at. So that's the evangelist that points towards Jesus. And then you have that's the prophet. The prophet is the one that points to Jesus. The prophet is the one that gives you instruction. The prophet is the one that addresses the body of Christ for either instruction or correction. And then the middle, if you hold your hand up, you got the middle finger that sticks up more than the others. Well, that's the evangelist. Evangelist gets on an airplane, and when he sits down, he knows everybody's name around him when he gets on the airplane. He knows he is a people person, loves being around people, and as I said just a few minutes ago when I got out of sequence, that they have to have a particular message, and it's usually a salvation evangelical message. And then we have pastors. Now, pastors are the ring finger, and that's why I did it on this thing, is they're married to the church. The pastor sees the church on its good day, and they see the church with curlers in their hair in the middle of the night on their bad day. So marriage is, and it's like that. It's that type of relationship. And then the little one, and my wife doesn't like this part. She needs to look away during this part. But this is the teacher, and the teacher, the little finger, is the only one that can get into your ear. See, I told you what. and just for effect, I'm going to do it with the other hand. So, okay, I'm through, honey. There are some things that just give you the heebie-jeebies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's one that gives my wife the heebie-jeebies. So, the teacher's the one that teaches the body of Christ. That they can make an 8-week series on Jesus wept. They just love getting in the Word, love studying the Word. So these are the pulpit ministries. Now, they have a particular function. And that function we find here in verse 12 is for the equipping of the saints for the work of the ministry. Now, notice that they are equipping the saints for something. And the thing that they are equipping for, they don't equip the saints to sit. They equip the saints for the work of the ministry, for the edifying. That word edify here means to build. Think of the word edifice, an edifice. For the edifying of the body of Christ. It's to build the body of Christ. So these fivefold ministry gifts help equip the saints for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. And then it says that these work for us to come in together into unity, to the unity of the faith, until we come into perfection, till we come into the fullness of the measure of the stature of Christ. So the job of these gifts is to equip you for ministry and to help perfect or grow you up. Listen, this is why sitting at home doesn't help you grow a whole lot. This is one of the things that we're going to find that we're talking about with these gifts. As you start discovering what your gifts are, there is a part, a place, an equipping, a ministry that you have, first of all, in your local church. And by being faithful and ministering in your local church, that helps you to grow and mature. There have been many people that have come through here that have gone on in other areas, in other ministries. There have been people that have come in here that have started their own churches. They have. I remember one man in particular that came through, and his heart was to start or to pastor a church over in West Tennessee. And so they came here, attended, they were faithful, they helped anything that needed to be done, they jumped in and helped, and the time came for him to go and start that, and he actually moved back to where he was from, back to his hometown. And that's happened numerous times here, that other people, that as you start helping, that's what happened with me. That's the way you start discovering your gift, is you start ministering, you start helping in the local church. Now, you don't get that by staying away from church. You get that by being at church. There's something different about being in person. Now, thank God for things that we can do online now, that we can put things on YouTube, we can put things on Facebook, we can live stream, we can do all kinds of stuff like that. That's a wonderful thing. But that doesn't replace the assembling of yourselves together as the manner of some is.